Warning: the following program contains bright, flashing lights and/or imagery that may cause discomfort and/or seizures for those with photosensitive epilepsy. Viewer discretion is advised.
So boom, 2011. Mark Duggan gets killed in Tottenham. This sparks riots around London, Tottenham, and then it comes to Hackney. And this was the year before the 2012 Olympics too. So basically, that part of Hackney down there, Hackney Central, gets trashed, and then the London government gives out money to boroughs that were affected by the riots to help, help rejuvenate the area. So ever since, even before the Hackney riots, we've always had a Burberry over there in that area over there, and it's always attracted, tourists and stuff. What I believe the Hackney Council were thinking was, let's build a shopping area that sells high luxury fashion for tourists, and then maybe they'll attract more tourists and more money will come to the economy. And this was an absolute failure. I remember before this was even built, this was just a scrapyard, and then they turned it into this. And I was 17 or 16 at the time when I saw this finished being built. And I thought to myself, this isn't gonna do anything. I don't know why at 17, I feel like I knew Hackney enough where, even though I wasn't aware of how economics work exactly, I just knew deep down this wasn't gonna go anywhere. And lo and behold, it didn't. Most of the times when you walk, when these were shops, actual shops, they were always empty. There was barely anybody in these places. They built a Nike store over there. That lasted the longest. That one over there turned into nothing. That was always empty. There was no shops, no nothing. That was always empty. And it's only now in 2024 that they've decided to turn some of these spots into art studios. And which I feel like is good, but even now I don't think I'll be able to afford them. But at least they're doing something with them. I feel like they should at least turn these into pop-ups like in Box Park in Shoreditch, or allow people to rent them out just for a day, or even host events. This would be a sick place to do events, because I think that these spots are very spacious. Anyway, we're here now. So a lot of these spots are covered in wooden pallets for me to paint on, so I guess I won in the end.
Question time. My name is Demi from Hackney, and I'm a street artist who likes to have fun and will use any way to express what I want to get out there. Growing up in Hackney, you'd see graffiti everywhere. I remember seeing street artists like Stick and the graffiti artist Offski just tagged around my area in Hackney. And then sometimes the wall would be plain one day, and then the next couple of days would be, something would be painted on there, and sometimes it would be really high up. And I always thought that magic was, I always thought that was a sort of magic to get in when you really don't know how they get to those spaces. It really is a type of magic, because magicians making something come out of thin air really isn't a thing, but the way they move their hands so intricately to distract you, when they break it down, it kind of ruins the illusion. But then when you don't know how they do it, it really is magic. And so I just thought, who are these people that do these things? And then because I didn't know anyone else that was interested in just walking around Hackney at night, especially back then when Hackney was a bit more dangerous. I think it wasn't around, maybe I was like 20. No, I didn't buy my first spray can until I was 17. And I didn't start spraying until I was 20. And since then, just been messing, like, you know, fucking around, just seeing what I could do. And then it wasn't until like maybe past a few years, maybe like 3 years ago, when I was like confident holding a spray can. Like, obviously I still make mistakes, but if I see a painting or have an image, I know how I would bring it or make it bigger on a wall. I'm fairly certain I could do it with ease.
In terms of like your artwork, you know, you do it within places that people can see it. Is that something that's really important to you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When I paint somewhere, I think obviously the safest places to paint where I won't get in trouble by the feds are, like, you know, back roads. But if you're painting on the main roads, that's where there's a lot of traffic. That's where things will be seen. Painting around places like central London is very risky. But you know, if you find ways to paint there, that's good. Like very hubs, like very creative hubs, like right next to BeauBeau's where I painted before. That was a great spot because there's a lot of great people there, and I've seen the mural that I painted there in several videos now, because, you know, people go there to shoot music videos or do promotion over there, and sometimes my tag is even in that video. Even people may not notice, but if they really look, they'll find it. Those who know will notice it. I've got a lot of praise and I've gotten a lot of hate from doing these, because, you know, some people saying that this isn't real graffiti or this isn't real street art or whatever, but I feel like when I've heard stories about Picasso when he first made his first cubism piece, or when Matisse started painting with like vibrant colors, they too got, you know, a lot of hate or a lot of mixed reviews. Some people either loved it or some people really hated it. And then now these guys are remembered in history. And it's not me saying that I invented this style, but it's just more so, I feel like this right now, at this stage I'm at right now with my art, I feel like I'm at a good foundation. Whilst I was almost finished painting the shutter, and people were literally taking pictures in front of it whilst I was still painting. So I was like, I wasn't even finished. And people weren't even even I was there, they could see I was the one painting this, but they weren't trying to ask me about what I'm doing. Yeah, some people did, and those men I rate so much. I'm even friends with them as well. But it's just people that would just use it as an aesthetic. As a clout thing, I guess so. But do I take that seriously? I was, at the time, like, cause I think about that sometimes. At the time, I was like, I couldn't understand why I felt disrespected. But now, looking back at it, it's done now, and even sometimes I go back to BeauBeau's and I still see people take pictures in front of it.
Okay.
Again, people coming up to me and talking to me, I don't mind that. They're just ignoring me whilst I'm doing my thing is what I have issue with, you know? Again, I'm very approachable. I feel like I was approachable. I mean, I was just wearing a high-vis vest, literally this, but a white t-shirt, and yeah. But either way, I mean, people taking pictures, but so that's a good sign that people love it. And I liked hearing about what they see as well. I think someone said they see binoculars. I mean, this one obviously a lot of people see butterflies and moths. I feel like that's always the classic of, like, you know, it's symmetrical, but me, I saw, what do I see in this? I see a mask, but do you know the type of mask that superheroes wear? I see that type of mask.
Those street art is very beautiful. It's public art, and people can treat it however they want. People treat how, like, you know, line bikes, stash them on the floor however they want. If it's public, then people treat it however they want, and that's something I have to let go of.
Because if someone now like drew on that piece,
Yeah, it's like,
you couldn't really.
I mean, I'd be,
You'd be
again,
annoyed,
a
but-
part of me, a small part of me would be annoyed, but majority would be like, listen, that's just the game I'm in.
Yeah.
Like, your shit gets covered. Like, you might pay the time. I remember, listen, this is even recent. There was a time I was painting near Shoreditch Church, like right by where they put those posters for adverts. Not the billboards, but the posters that some people can just put on a random building. I was painting there. I painted on one of those, and I thought it would last like a week, because I knew it was gonna get covered up again. So I painted there. I painted on them, left it. I finished maybe 2 p.m. Went around doing my thing. I came back around like maybe 7 or 8, and it was covered up again. Literally within hours, it was covered up. It was gone, and I was like, "That's it. That's just the way it is."
You just had to like move on to the next.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, annoying though.
that's just the way it is, man. A lot of interesting characters, to say the least. A lot of them are interesting people, let's just say that. But then some of them I've met recently, or the ones I'm friends with as well, they're really, really calm, cool people. Some of them, they just want to get their name out there and that's it. They don't want to do any more than that. Some of them want to put out a political message. There are graffiti artists who want to transition into fine art. For the most part, a lot of graffiti artists are just fine with just tagging their names everywhere and that's it. As long as their friends or people in their community know that it's them, they don't care if the public knows who they are, as long as they build a name for themselves in that community. Done. That's it. Okay.
I can't lie. I thought the purple would be brighter, but I'm happy with like the bluishness of it. I remember speaking to some security guys, and he said when he was at that angle, just around the corner, peering at this, he could see two faces looking at each other. But then when he came literally right in front of it, he couldn't make of it at all, like what he could see. He didn't know what he was looking at. So it's interesting, not just like what people's perspective are, but also like how they look at it, at what angle they look at it at. Thanks, man. You finished just in time for the festival as well.
Is that from like Batman?
What do you mean?
Seen Batman with a guy when he starts tripping out in Batman. He puts the mask on.
Oh, you saw, okay. You
Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Scarecrow. Yeah, the fair gas and stuff.
His face starts changing. Reminds me of that.
Interesting. So what, you see something scary?
No, it just reminded me of that. It just sort of that guy's melting. You know, like when people start tripping
Yeah.
and everything starts melting in front of them.
Okay.
It's either that or is that military?
Military?
Nah.
What do you mean?
What is it?
It's whatever you see it is.
Very even.
Yeah.
It's symmetrical both sides. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah.
You know those old school psychological tests?
Yeah, that's what I was just.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I was just thinking. Yeah.
These things also kind of gauge how people see reality as well. Because some people see this thing in the same way, some people don't. Or because of how they grew up, or the context of what they did the day, or how they feel even. Maybe even their emotions has an effect on what they see as well. I don't know. But yeah. It's done now. Demi, right there.
Oh, I see that before. Yeah.
Swear.
All right, one.
I think where people come from, where they're born, where they're raised, is also adds to their identity. Because I don't know. I feel a certain way when I say I'm from East London or even from Hackney, because again, it's part of your identity. Like where your family's from, what country they're from, that's part of your identity. So people are still gonna like claim certain things, like claim their location. But maybe abstract art will make the conversation a lot lighter rather than just,
Did you get more love from people that were from Hackney, like that were like, oh, you're Demi, oh, so what?
Not
Demi
yet.
from Hackney.
Yeah, not yet. I feel like I'm still relatively unknown, but people, when I point out that that's my work, people, oh yeah, I've seen your work, that's cool.
Yeah.
Especially people that go around, that float around Hackney Wick, and even my tag is not really known like that yet either.
So why did you never call yourself like Demi from East? Why did you only call it Demi from Hackney? Why are you claiming
Because
borough?
I don't know. That is, I mean, I can't lie. The rest of East London, I can't lie. I mean, I've been to Dagenham. Ilford is kind of there. Ilford is not inspiring me at all.
Did it just catch the tongue? You was like Demi from Hackney.
Yeah, bro, Hackney, innit? I think Hackney is definitely the most famous East London borough.
It just fitted.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, Demi from Hackney.
Demi from Hackney.
I like that. When did you create that? Like, back when like school days, you know, like, yeah, Demi from Hackney, and then you kind of.
No. It's just more so like, I know obviously Demi's a actual, you know, there's so many people named Demi. And I was thinking, I think I was watching the Leonardo da Vinci documentary, and Leonardo da Vinci, you know, a Renaissance man, he did many things like inventing art, biological studies and everything on the human body. So he covered a lot of different areas in his life, a lot of different fields, and so like that inspired me because I don't just do art, I also play around with technology as well. So Da Vinci means from Vinci.
Okay.
Yeah, so Da Vinci means from Vinci, so Leonardo's name means Leonardo from Vinci. Yeah. So that's where from Hackney comes from. And I hate it when people put my name on flyers and stuff, they just put Demi, it's like, it's Demi from Hackney, that's a full name. And then you've also got like the apostrophe I put at the front of my D as well.
Yeah.
That's there for a reason, but I can't say why that's there.
Okay. So would you want people to kind of know you as like just Demi, but like obviously with Da Vinci thing, people call him Da Vinci, but we know that it's Da Vinci from.
Yeah, from Vinci. Yeah.
So would you?
No, just Demi's fine. Demi's fine. But if you're putting my name on a flyer, put Demi from Hackney with the apostrophe at the front.
Okay. Because like that's your title.
Yeah, that's the title, isn't it?
Is there a reason why? Because our plot, obviously, on your work, you draw your Demi a specific way, innit?
Yeah, because how I came around to my tag, because there's a guy called, I met up with, he's a graffiti artist, his name is Faces, this is him.
Okay.
This is what he writes, tags around London. And I think I met up with him one day, and we were just tagging around Hackney Wick. And I didn't have a tag at that point. I was just looking, because I knew about the graffiti scene, but I wasn't really known about like stuff like doing a throw up or doing tags. So I saw him writing his name in like under 20 seconds. Back then I was painting like whole street art pieces. I was painting murals and stuff. I wasn't really doing graffiti like that, anything illegal. So I was thinking like, how can I would like to do the same thing as well, tag my name in it, because it's also, when you really think about it, it's a form of guerrilla marketing. It's like, imagine if Nike didn't have the money to put up billboards and everything. They'd probably just like put a swoosh tick anywhere they could.
Yeah.
Oh shit, this is cold. Yo, this is cold.
I just started, fam.
Did you do that one as well?
No, that's someone else. My name is James Laurent, aka 43. 43 is short for 444333. I studied fashion, first of all. I dropped out of uni for that, went straight into internships, like back to back. Have pretty much held every position in fashion, from model manager, stylist, show coordinator, all that kind of stuff. I was in Soho, Never Fade, shout out Never Fade. I was there for a few years doing like live painting and that kind of stuff. And I was doing custom pieces. And I kind of realized while I was doing these custom pieces for individual clients, I kind of realized that was where I wanted to head towards fashion-wise. I didn't really like the business of fashion, you know, commercial fashion. Not even fast fashion, just commercial fashion alone. The pressures and the investment in that wasn't really appealing to me. I like the more boutique, B2B or a client approach. And then from there, I started getting requests for paintings that wasn't on clothing, and so I started doing on canvases, and then I ran out of canvases and started painting on wood and chairs and other stuff, and here we are today.
Alright, cool, let me show what I got.
Yeah, you used to go black and white.
Just black and white, innit? So like, what I want to do before we start is understand each other's styles and shit, you know?
Okay.
So like,
Sorry.
that's for my shoes.
And I was saying to him, man.
Oh, the Doc Martens is yours. So like, with my style, my style is more about symmetry and balance.
Okay.
So like, even though, again, you just see the ink blots, and then it asks you what your interpretation is, also like, I like to have some type of equality, some sort of equality on both sides. Not entirely equal,
Okay.
but some sort of equality, because
So
because
do you aim as much as you can for symmetry?
no.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I'm okay with like 85% symmetry.
Okay.
85%, that's fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, because again, I believe, yeah, again, in this world, nothing is perfect.
Absolutely.
So,
especially when it comes to shapes, straight lines, and curves.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So.
Because like, it was one of those ones, like, I feel like it's a human touch to add imperfections, because it has a bit of charm to it.
And it definitely works, like, especially like, I would have never known that's your margin of error.
Yeah, because
Just by looking at your pieces.
Because like, again, for most people, they don't notice. But like, if you really observe it, take the time to really look, you'll see like, oh, I see the imperfections and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm okay with that. I do think about whether people will copy my style, because that's something, my style is very simple. Anyone can just get a piece of paper, put ink on one side, fold it in half, and then say that Demi made this. But one, I think that just means I'll just have to evolve the style. And two, that just means if people start to copy my style, that means, you know, I'm doing something really good. But so wait, with the faces you paint, and also like anatomy as well, I'm seeing anatomy.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the colours that we have. Yeah, I paint a lot of bones as well. A lot of
death.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
The friendly ghost.
Yeah, I don't know. It is something that unfortunately, I think about a lot, and many different, come at it from many different angles. Not always in a sad way, not always in a, you know, it just depends.
Wait, so when you paint, do you ever think about, I want to use this color for this something, or this color for that something, or you just like go with whatever you feel like you want to go for?
Yeah, it depends. I always start with black and white.
Okay.
I always start with black and white. I always start there first, and then the color, it's almost like a mood to me, you know. So then I kind of hide behind colors a lot in my work. Like if you look really close at my work, sometimes it can be a bit depressing because I use the colors to kind of hide, but I kind of hide the depressing stuff behind the colors. So, but ultimately the colors are there as a symbol of hope, you know, as a symbol of life. Keep going, you know, don't stop, don't give in. Life is perpetual, you know, whether you can see it or not, or hear it or not, life is going on. And there will always be more. There will always be more. Keep going.
Sure, I forgot what I was talking about. But you know, there's like
I was thinking about your Tate thing as well. I think that's what really got me like, okay, yeah, this Demi guy's on to something.
And the funny thing is, that shit, a lot of people are like, oh, you're doing this to the status quo, and this and that. Bro, I just did it because it was fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was fun to fuck around.
Yeah, nah, man, that was, but that was what you were doing, and it's not like you were ignorant to that. That was part of the, it wasn't part of your motivation. I think that's what
I knew it would cause some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But you knew. Yeah,
But
exactly.
I wasn't like, oh, I'm trying to cause do
Yeah.
the most. You know, I was just like, this is fun, something to do. Because again, like,
Yeah.
I really don't like.
Bro, you need to do it again, but like not with Tate probably, but probably with a different establishment. But
We're moving on now because I've got other projects.
if it works, bro, just rinse and repeat, bro. Rinse and repeat.
I
Like
call like other things I'm more interested in doing.
I hear
now.
that.
That's all it is.
But if something again, this is PR, bro. PR and marketing.
And so coming off what you did at the Tate,
Yeah.
how different is that?
So with the Tate, I knew I wouldn't get in serious trouble. I knew I wouldn't get in serious trouble with the Tate Modern because I thought my thought was if I didn't sell any of the booklets, if I wasn't making money off of the Tate's name, then it wouldn't be an issue. But after they kicked me out and they said to me that if I showed my face again, they'd call the police. I posted a video on YouTube and then a bunch of people were telling me, no, they can't, they can't say that. If they, like, legally, they can't do that because you're not causing a disturbance or whatever, and copyright laws. And again, I'm not making any money from what I was doing. Like a lot of these projects I've done, like the one I did at Tate and the one I did the year before as well, where it was just like digital art in different parts of London. That was all self-funded. I saved up from my job and then spent a good amount of money on the projects I wasn't expecting to see any return on. And even now, these projects I do, I think now I'm just gonna start applying for grants, but I'm just impatient. I can't lie, I just can't wait for months and do paperwork and do a pitch deck just to get a grant. So I think I just should just be a little bit more patient and just start actually applying for these grants that will give me tens of thousands just to do what I need to do. I wouldn't consider what I do political at all because I don't really put a political message in my artwork. But I think when it comes to graffiti, because it's vandalism and it's illegal, then that makes it political. That's what they told me. And I can kind of see that. And I think, where was I going with this? Where was I gonna go with this? That's what makes it, that makes it political. And there's so many avenues I can take with the style that I have, asking about what people see. Because a lot of things in life can be interpreted in so many different ways. Oh, bro, I had the perfect fortune cookie message from like last year.
Is it?
Yes, I think it was something along the lines of like, everything will go well with your new project. And that was when I was doing the Tate Modern thing. Luckily, everything went well. It went well. So like, I was like, I never believed in fortune cookies until like that point.
Then, so did you have like community support from Hackney size more time?
Nah, not at all.
Outside of Hackney that you've gained?
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, Shoreditch definitely. Where else have I painted? I mean, actually no, I'd say the people that I realized I appreciate their work are other street artists and graffiti artists in Hackney. And I go to a lot of the gallery shows in my area. Okay. A lot, the small galleries in it. And every time they do like a opening night, I'm there.
So it's like a little huddle of artists.
Yeah. Okay. And like, you make your name known, show your face there a lot. They like you, you like them. And they've offered it, and they know that I make artwork, but I know that I make art, so like one of them have offered like, yo, let's do an art show together. I was like, I don't even have any pieces yet. Yeah. And the thing is as well, is like, I want to do an art show every year.
Okay.
Not to sell artwork. The main goal would be to build a community and see who the people are that like my work.
So
outside of just my friends.
Is the art community like not as big?
No, it's big. Oh no, it's big. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. You do a video tour of everything here. This one, do you know those when people take pictures of sunsets? And then we're, this looks all nice, artistic. This is just someone who just cropped it down into just the clouds and it's supposed to mean something. I'm sure it does. This reminds me of Sade. You know, how they do this thing of the album cover, and it's got like the golden, actually doesn't have golden anything, but it looks like a face mask thing. This one looks like the infinite void of a vagina. That's nice. Cool. Wow. Yo, these are mental health, what's it called? This is mental health medication. This is someone's really going through it. Damn. Oh, this is well made, actually. Come look at this. Someone actually knitted this together. It's mad. You know what this looks like? This looks like, do you know those medieval paintings where no one can draw? I mean, not to say this person can't draw, but that's what it's given. Because even the attire that the character's wearing, or the person's wearing, it looks like some type of old school medieval painting. And even looks like the pose, those awkward poses that they do as well. This would be a cool curtain. And this is the 3 blind mice. This is a naked woman. I recognize boobs when I see them. And this is someone with a foot fetish. Yeah.
Were you doing the painting on the street?
Yeah, down there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Wait, did you see it?
Yeah, we passed by. Yeah, true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's done now.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, that shit.
Was it like inspired by, you know, like the brain patterns?
Oh, do you mean the
What do you call it?
Rorschach?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Ah, yeah, I saw it. That's why I thought.
Yeah, I mean, I like when people like see it and then try to tell me what they see. It gives me like, makes me excited to make it sometimes, you know? Just like, not sometimes, all the time.
And then the post.
Because like, it's like people put their own perspective into it.
Everyone has a different interpretation. I guess.
Yeah, some interpretations are similar, but I like ones that are like radically different. Because that's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I made one and someone said they saw the Antichrist. And another person said they saw Jesus.
I go to Amsterdam.
So that was a weird, well, that was a very strange. Yeah.
Interesting.
So
Do
yeah.
you talk to people then and ask how, like, what's...
I mean, I'm not a psychologist. So I just,
No, but what is their
the thought process behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, I allow them to explain themselves. Like someone said that they saw, it reminded them of like a Batman villain.
Maybe Audrey.
And then I just allow them to keep talking about why.
Yeah.
And through that, I feel like that's enough interpretation. 'Cause I don't know the right answers. I don't know the right questions to ask because I'm not a psychologist. But
Yeah. No, but it's not about that.
Do you often do like street art like this?
yeah.
I actually really like the superhero, in quotes, Rorschach from Watchmen. I like that comic as well. But aside from that, I think, you know, the visual and the topic of a young black boy going around London painting Rorschach tests that are known, you know, in the medical world for testing for medical symptoms or say mental symptoms or mental instability and signs of, I think that's very important. You know, and I can definitely see how people digest his work on like two different levels, you know, on the visual level and then on the meaning level, which I think might kind of slip past people. But yeah, a black boy going around paying mental health tests on walls it speaks volumes. Yeah.
I don't want to be in the same position I am now in like 2 years in terms of like my style. I don't want like a drastic change, but I do want some level of notable progress. Because although like I am seeing some type of success with the style I have, I think I'm still at the stage, again, I've only been painting like this since October, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Since like flipping almost a year now, actually. literally almost a year now. So I've only been painting because again, I've just been, before that I was just painting whatever I could draw on my sketchbook, but it was never like a coherent style. But now I've got this style, which is cool, but I want to see what I can do with it. It's like, you know, exercise the extent of which is possible with this.
So when you call it a phase?
I thought, yeah, I mean a phase, but I don't want to make it seem like, oh, I'm just here, just to, it's only temporary, you know, like, I guess maybe the best way to describe it is a phase, but it's more so the foundation. This is the foundation. That's all. What inspires me? Having fun inspires me.
The reason I asked you is because you know they remind me of, you know, when the FBI show the cards.
That's exactly what they are.
Yeah?
That's it.
Bro, I love it.
What do you see? What do you see?
So on that one I see a goat's head.
Yeah.
Right? On that one I'm not gonna lie, I don't know innit.
Okay.
Yeah, on that one I see a torso, like the hip bones and shit.
The pelvis.
Yeah, the pelvis.
Everyone sees.
Yeah. My brother, I fucking love you. Got Insta?
Yeah.
Let me follow you, bro. I love this shit. I used to graph back in the day, innit? I used to write monks. But I ended up getting too many assholes, innit? Oh shit.
Aye, yo.
Bro, yeah, I used to do tracks and everything, innit?
Oh shit.
But I'm old now, man. I'm 33, so.
Wait, is that what's it called? A Gara tattoo on your foot?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, it's cold.
Come on, man. You know what? You're on TikTok. My Instagram's
Yeah.
banned. I'm not gonna lie. Go on.
Look at TikTok.
You know, I love this shit, man. I saw you when I was going gym, innit? I was like, you know what? Let me walk back this way and see what he's doing. Because I had an idea you might be going with that kind of route with it. But yeah, no, honestly, what inspired you to do this? Obviously, I know man said you thought I was taking the piss.
No.
Okay,
No.
I thought you thought I was joking.
No,
innit?
it wasn't. What's it called? I mean, that's my page, but it's not showing
Yeah,
up.
go on.
But
Signal literally in this bit of shit.
yeah, I mean, it's the same on my Instagram as well. So if you want to find me
I'll
there.
find you. Don't worry.
But I was just bored one day in my room, fucking around with my art supplies, and then I just started playing around with the ink I had.
Yeah.
Started folding paper, and I realized nobody's really painting like this on the streets. So like, it'd be a cool way to like get my name out there, you know.
You know the thing is, because we'll recognise it as the police cards, the first thing is people are gonna think, oh, wait, so everybody's gonna have their own interpretation.
Yeah, exactly.
So this art to everybody is different, bro. I rate it so much. Big respect, bro.
Love, man. Love,
What's your real name?
Demi.
Oh, Demi.
Yeah.
Same. Harry, innit? Love, but
Dem-
I'll see you later, yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, keep it up, man. I want to see this all over Hackney, innit?
Bro, you're gonna see all over London.
I used to write Monk, innit? That's my tag from back in the day, innit? Obviously, it's been like, what, maybe a decade now. I ain't done anything, but bro, keep it up, yeah?
Love, man. All right.
Any writer who walks past is going to say hello to you, innit?
No, you'd be surprised. A lot of people just don't like this. They don't like it actually. They think it's weird.
Because it's not like proper graph.
Yes.
All that bullshit.
That bullshit. Yeah. There's no proper graph, so they don't respect it. So. Yeah, but yeah, I don't give a shit anyway. I'm gonna keep painting.
Part of what makes an artist like a great artist is when you look at their style, what they paint, you can see that there's confidence in what they do. And that's because they're confident in themselves and they're being authentic to themselves. You can sense, I feel like I can sense that. Even if, like, let's say he's an artist who like has a big white canvas and he does like one red tick and it's very, very small. You know, when people see, oh, how's that art? It's because the artist has worked on their art for a very long time, or they've worked on it for a very long time and they've eventually come to, this is how I want to express myself, because this is me.
Is this gonna be safe? No. I was gonna slide down. I 100% believe the number one enemy of the journey that morning will be myself. Like when I did my first project, Otherworldly, when I was doing that thing where like I was putting different art pieces around 8 different locations around London, at the end of it, I was very proud of myself that I did that. Like I had the idea, I shared it with a friend, and they gave me some other stuff, to add to it, in terms of like other things to think about. But I put my money towards it, and I made it happen. I dropped out of uni, and because of that, I had some self-doubts about myself, whether I'm able to do anything, because I didn't finish a course that I wanted to do. But then when I dropped out, I had the idea of that project in mind, and I saw it through. And it just reminded me that
I really can do anything that I put my mind to. Graffiti, for the most part, I'm mostly self-taught. I didn't learn that in university or school.
Done.
What I know about Rorschachs, when they were used, if a patient gave an answer for like a very wild answer, a very disturbing and wild answer to an inkblot, then they definitely look into his mental state. And through stuff I've seen, through stuff I've made, I don't think I've seen anything crazy. So I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Who knows? Maybe making these will turn me insane eventually.